Got it all selected. We're going to go ahead and load in on number 1 here. Sentinels starting on attack.
All lined up immediately for a B take, and we see frenzies in hand, a wide variety of those weapons being brought, whether it's a ghost or a frenzy. Spike immediately being planted. We're only 15 seconds into the round, and Tens will get out of there very quickly. All 10 agents still alive, so the challenge will be for a retake. We'll see if they'll be able to do it, as Sick will be the first one in the line of fire. Quite literally, Dapper down. He takes down Steel. Shazam falls too, and 100 Thieves have lost 2 almost immediately. They're trying to fire back as best as they can. They're bottlenecked over by A. Sick will be the main impediment there to stop it. He won't be able to get much, but Ethan will remain on 1 HP. No heal available for him. Nitro baiting out a defuse on the Spike. Shroud of Smoke waiting to play around the corner and swing onto the Astro. Loses the fight, and it's a cleanup from Sentinels to take the very first round.
That was great strategic awareness there from Sentinels. One of the biggest things is that they didn't force out into A link, and that's huge because we all saw Nitro just lingering by A, waiting for somebody to push into him because he's alone. There's no refrag potential, so he's got to take his 1v1. So when he's pushing into B to try and fake out that spike defuse, he actually finds himself now alone because Sentinels turned around and took both of the fights that 100 Thieves forced, pushing out of A and C. So nice awareness there from Sentinels to react to what they expected from 100 Thieves on the flank behind. That was beautiful read.
I like the pacing as well. It was very, very quick. In, smokes out, immediately fall back and try to fight in that post plant. Now, things are going to slow down just a tiny bit because at this point in the previous round, the spike was already down. Sentinels will try to take up map control as their sights are over towards C. The retake that'll be coming in from 100 Thieves is over by A, and they're going to need to get there very quickly because the defense on C, it'll be winnowed down. Still waiting to see if anybody's going to be able to make any moves here. 100 Thieves will have to battle against a team that has yet to plant the spike. There it is. Shazam has it in hand. It's going down. Asuna up, checking the window in garage, as the Sentinels once again will just wait for the post plant.
A great opportunity for the retake here for 100 Thieves. You're not going to expect them to be able to get this, and the force out from Sentinels over by C-Link is going to work great. They'll even get a flawless round to add insult to injury. Beautiful second, so nothing surprising there. No eco damage at all, though, for 100 Thieves is obviously not bode well.
They'll be in a rough spot, but they'll be able to full buy here. It just means that they'll be in a fragile spot moving forwards. We'll see exactly what their lineup is going to be. It's not a full buy yet from Sentinels. They're going to hang on to those Spectres, and, well, they've been feeling pretty confident so far. It's a strong start for them. They're able to take map control quickly. 100 Thieves just got bottlenecked over by A, and the one remaining flank watch of Sentinels playing over by green was able to stop them, and then 100 Thieves couldn't take up any more land.
Once again, just a quick push up through mid. Interesting play from Sentinels, and now that Ethan's got a rifle, he's going to shut down that push. Tens on the floor, but the spike's going down. Dapper able to get one on the entry, though, so it's an equal exchange and spike planted.
That was a rough look for Tens as he peeked left right as the attack came in, and he lost his life for it. Asuna trying to retake. He gets spotted. He'll fall back. Recon dart pulled out as now Ethan will go for a flash and himself try to engage, but he has to be very wary of window as there's multiple angles. He's good for his shots, though, so far. Drone floating on up. A flash comes across, and Ethan cannot outduel Sick, who had all of it working for him there. Dapper with one of his own. Eco traded out. Shazam and Dapper now in a 2v1. Steel, almost full HP. He's just going to very slightly creep up on green here, watching the window. Time is running out, though, and he's going to need to run for the hills. He'll catch Shazam, though, as he backs away, but the spike goes off. Regardless, Dapper on 1 HP survives, and the Sentinels are up 3-0.
Definitely an expensive round there for the Sentinels, but they did get that spike plant, though, so they're going to be pretty flush. 100 Thieves not in a great position now. That was meant to be their round. The quick action plant there for Sentinels has gone uncontested now twice. First in the pistol round, then in the first buy round. Definitely some more B presence for 100 Thieves necessary to change these round outcomes, or at least more information on that aggressive plant. I think they're expecting Sentinels to get full control of the site before they go for the plant, but Sentinels is saying nah to that and just going straight for spike plant right off the cuff, regardless if they win on entry or not. It's quite interesting. Now it's this lack of C presence for 100 Thieves, and Sentinels will get it for free.
Absolutely, and they've got C under lock and key right now. 100 Thieves not wanting to battle against the Astra smoke, so they will be pushed back. Once again, Spike going down. 4 rounds that Sentinels have been successful every round so far in the game. And unfortunately, as you can see, 100 Thieves are not going to be on equal footing when it comes to weaponry. The Sentinels have full bot now, and they're able to enact some vengeance upon the members of 100 Thieves that are in between a rock and a hard place. Sick is spotted, though. He gets pre-fired away. Things starting off with steel. That's some good damage done, but immediately Sentinels' guns find their marks. 2 of 100 Thieves taken out. Sentinels still hold a numbers advantage. There goes a dart amidst the smoke, trying to give some recon and information. Recon bolt gets destroyed as Tens continues with this, and 3 kills for him. 4-0 Sentinels.
Well, Sentinels looking pretty strong here. One interesting tidbit about the way that Sentinels is handling their executions is that they, when getting the spike down, play their post plant very passively far back on the attacker's side. Now, we often see on B plants, aggro push from the attackers after they get the spike down. They'll go ahead and push towards A link or C link or what have you to try and gain more control and another angle to defend in the post plant. But Sentinels consistently are planting and falling back to their side of the map to try and play for the flanks because they know to expect it from 100 Thieves. It's been working out for Sentinels so far, but that last round wasn't a rifle round. This one is, so this might be the difference maker for 100 Thieves.
That's a lot of firepower from Hiko. He doesn't end up doing much of anything. Tens is the only player on Sentinels who's taken a bit of a beating, and even then, it's not that much. This is the first A execute that we're going to see from Sentinels. There goes the tripwire, and right into the middle of the site they go, but 100 Thieves is perfectly placed for that. Steel loses his life for it, though, as he's able to help Asuna pick off 1. And now Asuna from sewers will continue to do that. Pivots for a 3rd. He's dragged down. Now, at least the front of the site is in perfect control for Sentinels. They've also taken the back, so they'll look to lock out a push that'll come from the defender spawn. Spike has not been planted just yet, so Hiko will go onto the Owl drone, discover that there's somebody down below, and with those marks, fire through the floor. He's got a lot of bullets, and he gets one on Nizam's. Nice bullet pen for him, leaving Shazam to try and carry the load, but he won't. 100 Thieves, it takes 5 rounds, but you're on the board.
So obviously most of that comes down to Asuna's play by short. He went uncleared and uncontested. And crucially, the clear by short for Sentinels, you can actually see it right now, was kind of awkward. Because we did see, obviously, Tens try to get on top of the boxes. But that right there, that's Dapper a little bit late to the party. Because he was so late and alone, he wasn't able to win his fight and actually take that control by short. Ultimately resulting in an absolute catastrophe for Sentinels when they went for that execute into A. Nice play there from Asuna. And now, 100 Thieves finally starting to make something work for them. They're going to set up in a way that is actually very focused on the C side. As you can see, they've stacked heavily for it, expecting a C or B execute. A left relatively alone because of the aggressive play from Steel. He has the information he needs.
And Dapper's also set up most of that Cypher utility so that when 100 Thieves decides to retake from that position, he'll be spotted right away. And Steel knows that. He has to fall back. So Shazam will be the one to go after him, hunting as best as he can. The focus from Sentinels shifted from mid towards B, now over to A. And I wonder if it's because they did get that early read on Steel.
Ooh, the run it back. Ultimately going to gather information on Tens, who's now kind of trapped in mid. He'll get out, though. Nice use of the dash. And a nice shot as well. Hiko goes down, and that's the pick that Sentinels really need to open up this round. Now they're set up for the A execute. They're going to be spotted by the camera, but they've still got that man advantage.
At least 2 players from Sentinels spotted by that cam of Steel as 100 Thieves are called into action. Steel's utility working wonders, but so is his Vandal. He punishes Tens for that. Trying to clear out the site, but also gain some valuable intel as Shazam. Steel posted up, picks up his 2nd kill before dropped by Zoms. Zoms in the middle of the smoke. He and Dapper side by side are cleaning things out, leaving Ethan in a 1v3. Spike isn't down just yet, so Ethan has some time to get to the site, but he's likely going to be in a post plant. Spike is at half, and Ethan has no real intel. You can see starved of utility. He's taking a bit of a beating too. He's going to need to peek multiple angles. This is tough for him. One underneath hell, but he's spotted by the cam. Dapper trying to bait out a swing. Don't know if Ethan heard that or not. A pop for intel as Ethan fires to the right, but he's punished from the left. A 3rd kill from Zoms, as it's a crucial round for Sentinels.
Yeah, really big one there on the entry in A. And the pick from Tens. We talked about how yesterday, obviously, he wasn't the star performer, But Sentinels is flush with those. So you're going to have days where someone's performing and someone else is. Today, at least at this point, 10's really important frags, and that first lead-off kill by B, especially since it went unanswered, allowed for Sentinels to just ball up on A and take full man advantage push into site. That cannot be understated in its significance. Now, 100 Thieves are way down on the eco. We'll see a judge brought out for Ethan, and he's going to try and work some kind of magic over by Garage. It's not an easy hold, but it's doable, especially if you get a blind entry with no flashes or anything like that.
I don't think Ethan gained anything off of that flashbang. That went out. And though the Sentinels realized that B was relatively clear, the drone obviously not scouting anything from 100 Thieves, they still have to be a little bit wary because it wasn't a full clear of B's site. Now Sick punishing Steel, very first death in the way of 100 Thieves, and Sick will post up watching to see if from C-Link anybody's going to contest. Nobody will. Nitro's over there. And some hot hands tossed on out. Oh my goodness, Nitro finds himself in such a bad place. Sick with his second kill. 10's dashes away and will try to join the rest of his team over by A. There's Cam though, and it's spotted them. So Sentinels will continue to move en masse to try and take care of A. The site is free and clear. Dare I say it? Well, it's free real estate. There goes the spike getting planted, and some darts shot up from Hiko, trying to land in the midst of A, as once again 100 Thieves are going to continuously find themselves in these post plants. Cage out in front of Sick. He's trapped, but, well, he's actually concealed by that gate, and he swings on over. 4 kills, 5 kills, an ace for Sick as he shuts down 100 Thieves by himself.
Beautiful positioning there, and able to take full advantage of the surprise for 100 Thieves. But it all starts with this pick here. Steel at mid. Now, we've seen 100 Thieves peeking mid for information and getting punished as a result so many times now. I mean, it just seems like it's going to be consistent here for Sentinels. And it's really unfortunate that we are seeing that, especially considering 100 Thieves have a Sky. I mean, or a Sova. You can get information in other ways. You don't have to face check it. That mid peek is definitely not the play. They need to figure out a different way to get the info that they want on that mid position. The A site control also is definitely been a bit of a struggle. We'll see if it's going to change with Steel having the operator in hand. It's the run it back to try and contest it, and Sick cannot find Steel. He's going to back to hell before being finally finished off. Molly for control, and now Sentinels have full A site.
He knows he's not going to be able to get the push onto Sova by spawn, so instead he looks to the left to see if he can find anybody over by B. He doesn't see anything before the timer runs out. But again, A site is in control of Sentinels. Map like Haven, you're going to be fighting on your back foot quite a lot. And so far on these defenses, 100 Thieves have not been anywhere near as proficient as they need to be. Spike yet to go down, and the retake from 100 Thieves not working out in their favor. Nitro has the lone kill for their team to punish Zombs, but so far the guns on Sentinels hitting their marks. It's a rare round that the Sentinels win without getting the objective into play, and yet this first half is going by very quickly and is breaking the hopes and dreams of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it's this right here. That kill onto Steel. He was trying to escape. He almost managed to. You know, the operator not being super dynamic in his hands there in that moment. Sometimes you just need to get the right position, the right angle without having to contest some form of utility, and he just unfortunately could not find that. So, great run it back use there from Sick. And with that A site control being so easily taken for Sentinels, 100 Thieves definitely need to reconsider how they're going to choose to hold that. Now their economy is absolutely shattered. Look at this. We've got a sheriff being brought by Nitro, and apart from that, pretty much almost nothing spent. Maybe just a little bit of utility for Steel and Asuna. So this is basically a handed over round unless 100 Thieves can give us something magical. And I believe, taking a little bit of a pause here to figure out what's going on.
Well, you know, Michael, the timer at the top has stopped running, so I think it's pretty safe to say that there's a pause.
There was definitely a pause.
That's technically how it works.
Yes.
Unless that 1 second was actually 10 seconds, and we just ended up in some weird time continuum loop.
I've never seen that happen before, Parker, but I wouldn't be surprised. First time for everything, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it was a timeout. Right now, by the way, Sentinels giving 100 Thieves the version 1 treatment, as yesterday on this map, Sentinels emerged from the first half after starting on attack 9-3. We are very close to that already. Sentinels just need 2 more rounds, and they've matched their win from yesterday, obviously proving that this is a good map, as good map as you can ask for. And of course, they picked it for good reason. Now they're stacked up on the B and C sides of the map, foregoing A after giving a merciless beating to 100 Thieves on that site over the last couple rounds.
Going for the orb here. Zam will get it. And there's the Cosmic Divide. Now that's going to be the forced push into C. Just Nitro trying to hold this off. Not an easy task.
And they're looking to find their shot. So far, they are cleaning out the site. It's a rodeo with Tens now. He picks up 2 of his own, immediately retreats to the boxes. Fire goes out on him. He tries to dash away, but he can't. He's thwarted by a box. In hand, Asuna can't do much, and neither can the rest of his team, because it's yet another round for Sentinels. We are going to continue to say this. The scoreline through 10 rounds, or through 9 actively played, is 8-1.
Yeah, so, I mean, I got to hand it to Asuna that it was some great play there with the Sheriff as well as the Molly. So he's managed to pick up 2 kills for his team, and that's going to be okay. As we can all see, obviously, it didn't really truly affect Sentinel's economy too much. They're going to be fine. But still, some damage done is better than nothing, obviously. Now, importantly, 100 Thieves are going to be able to bring another operator this time. So this is the second chance for Steel. He didn't manage to make it work last time. This time, in order to make it have a chance, he has to bring half shields. So that's not ideal, obviously.
This is a rough spot again for 100 Thieves to find themselves in, but as they've lost grip on this economy, what all really can you do at this point? The round is, rather, this side of the map is so heavily tilted in favor of Sentinels that really 100 Thieves haven't been able to do much at all. Spike gets planted, by the way. Steel had everything lined up, but his line of sight knocked off. Advantage in terms of numbers for 100 Thieves, and it will continue to grow. Nitro looking for another steal in on the fun, and all of them are down. 100 Thieves will pick up their second round. This is crucial for them. They took a gamble with the economy. They went full buy, and they end up coming out ahead.
Yeah, massive round for 100 Thieves. They definitely needed that one, especially investing in on that operator. So clearly the right call, as Seal did get the lead-off pick. And then when Sentinels tried to retake into Garage, I mean, absolute meat grinder. That was not the play, clearly. And it almost worked out there, but no, they get shut down on their entry back into Garage. So we've seen Sentinels now shift up their strategy from post-planting on the attacker's side of the map to post-planting on the defender's side of the map. So they're trying to mix things up to keep 100 Thieves on their toes. But I think after that round, it's a clear read for Sentinels that playing on the attacker side in the post plant is definitely the play.
Well, 100 Thieves have a lot of bodies over towards A. This is reminiscent of what we saw out of the first couple rounds where they were trying to retake through A long. Asuna will continue to soldier forward. He thinks he's got somebody in the corner, but there's nobody there playing a cheeky angle. Instead, he perseveres and suffers through the flames, but it's a run it back, so he's back at square one. Flash in towards A, or B rather, and there's another flash. This one coming in from Ethan as Nitro's in a position that goes unpunished. 3 kills from the back of the site, and this is going to put Zoms in a 1v5. We saw a flawless round back in round number 2 for Sentinels. Zoms here, well, you're going to be fighting against an entire team of 100 Thieves that is looking to be quite confident.
Yeah, definitely not an ideal situation for Zoms. Most of that just coming down to Nitro not being cleared out and backup B site. Unfortunate that Sentinels did not put more priority on that. It's going to be an easy pickup there at the end for 4K. Nitro wanted to make it as big as he could, and he certainly did. So now, 100 Thieves salvaging this first half somewhat. This will be the last round for the half, so both teams on essentially full buy here, perfectly capable of keeping themselves in contention. Thanks to Sentinels putting themselves up early so many rounds in a row, they are going to be pretty flush. I will say 100 Thieves definitely, I think while they are obviously they're losing, the aggressive play we're seeing from them is a good way to respond to this situation, and it's keeping Sentinels on their toes for sure. That lack of A lane control was definitely rough in the last round for Sentinels.
There's over half a dozen ults that are going to be popped on this pivotal round to see if Sentinels can do the exact same scoreline that they did yesterday. They trade off 1 apiece. Sick enters and then immediately runs it back. Steel in a rough place with op in hand. Can't do all that much. Zoms punishes him from the cubby and will continue as now Sentinels moves towards C. Sick is on in. Shazam scouting for information. Does he find anything? Looks like he might have towards the back of the site. Additionally, Asuna now inside a garage, trying not to make any noise whatsoever. The spike has been planted, so 100 Thieves are in a 3v4. Bird out for intel, possibly a blind. There's nobody in the site. There is a recon dart. flame wall to go out to try and stop any potential view that Sentinels would have. They spot Asuna in his position though, but they can't hit the shots. Shazam in particular missing. That's not ideal, but he hits it that time around. Sick taking some damage, but he's trying to decide if it's worth the trade-off. The rest of the team, they managed to do what Sick wasn't capable of doing. In the first half, in the books, 9-3.
So I'm sure most of you are picking up on this. I'd love to see it from Sentinels. Again, Sentinels tried 2 different variations of their post plants, and that variation was the one that worked for them so consistently, especially in the first quarter of that half. So good job to Sentinels, again, playing that post plant all the way back on the attacker side through long, just trying to make sure that they have all the control that they need on their side of the map, and knowing that they can spam it on the spike as it's been planted. So that's great job to Sentinels. Again, strategic awareness, 10 out of 10. 100 Thieves definitely need to work something out on their defense of this map to try and retake on the attacker side, because they're not going to be able to challenge direct lines like that. The disruption, the control the smokes, they're just not enough. So yeah, it's definitely some mistakes there for 100 Thieves and something they need to iron out. But now we're on the second half, so they get to try their hand at attack.
Sick thought he had something now as he goes to break through the double doors over by Garage, but he doesn't get much other than some small damage that's done to him. But it's just a scratch, just cosmetic, as now he'll back up. An A take for 100 Thieves is currently in the book. Zom's posting up. There's a cam up there to tag him, spot him, and now a cage goes out as well. But a bit of a distraction and stall at the top of A short. See if anybody will be able to come to the rescue. Ethan is essentially in no man's land, all by himself, stranded. That spike down as well. Over by Green. These pistols so punishing so far for Sentinels, and they know that they have spike control, or at least it should look like they do.
But we've got Nitro actually going to plant over by C, so Sentinels, even though they push up on mid, and they actually have the flank there from Shazam, are going to mainly ball up for a retake from C Link.
And he goes from behind, takes down Zoms, as it's now a post-plant situation, and Sentinels know how punishing this has been when 100 Thieves was in that particular position. Asuna loses his fight to Shazam, and now Hiko will be very pivotal. Nitro's in the middle of the site, down he goes, and defusing is going just perfectly, but Hiko finds one before continuing onward. Tagged, so he'll be spotted, cannot deal with the double stack up, and Sentinels pick up the very first round for them on defense.
Yeah, and that might seal the deal, Parker. I mean, you're looking at more than likely another 2 rounds here in a row for Sentinels. Obviously taking that pistol round. Now they get to buy up, and 100 Thieves, I mean, they're pretty strapped for cash. They're going to be here and the next. So this is not, it's not ideal, that's for sure. At least 100 Thieves did get that spike plant down. That is worth something. They are going to help their economy out quite a lot there. This time, it's going to be a push over by A lanes, at least early on. Information from the Silver Dart there. The recon gathers a good amount. Shazam actually pushed off, though, because of a counter recon dart. And it's a push through short. Quick action into A.
Well, Shazam will try to stop them now, looking towards A short. Emerging from sewers. Spike is down, by the way. 6 entry kills. His opening picks have been crucial for his team. Right now, duel a jiggle peek now, as he retreats ever so slightly. A flash, he's got another Phoenix. The imposter, down he goes. Sentinels, a flawless round. They're at 11 against 3 for 100 Thieves.
So, I think part of this is going to be down to the agent selection that we have here. Obviously, it's an Omen instead of an Astra. 400 Thieves, that's going to be a factor. Your control is just less. It's just less flat out. If you can work the Astra in and you can feel confident about it, it's going to help you a little bit more, at least in being able to push the lines of scrimmage. On the other hand, though, Sentinel's strategic awareness of the positioning for 100 Thieves is just 10 out of 10. I mean, the aggression there from Sick up through mid, and it went completely uncontested for the most part. And it's just 100 Thieves are letting that control go away, but Steel pushing out through long A is able to get 2. Those are massive picks, and that completely opens up the site. This could be the first attacking round for 100 Thieves.
And they desperately need it. They gambled here yet again, just as they did when they were on defense. And if they end up losing out, they're in significant problems. Well, they do have a full buy. They've got an advantage in numbers. They will continue to grow. Sick down. We just saw a flawless round from Sentinels. Well, it's on the menu now for 100 Thieves, providing that Dapper isn't able to do anything with it. Spike is going down. 1 minute remaining in the round. What is Dapper up to? What is he gonna do? He might as well be miles away. He's floating over by window, watching B.
Yeah.
He could just be stalling at this point and trying to save.
He's lurking for economy, and it makes sense here, especially with the Spectre. He's not going to have a great chance at clutching this one up. So let's just see if he can take anyone with him. Now, it's going to be definitely teamwork on the take out of sight here for 100 Thieves. They'll try to make sure they don't lose too many bodies. But most of that round, I mean, it just comes down to that early entry for Steel. So great job by Long. 100 Thieves finally finding themselves in a comfortable position. Sentinels is not going to be fully out of this, though. Obviously, their economy should be fine for the next round. At least, you know, acceptable. And the aggression here from Dapper is kind of, you know, noting of that. I think it's going to be, yeah, he's not going to get anything, but it's telling that he went for that aggro push just to try and hurt the economy of the enemy team more than anything. So here it is, the moment of truth. Lack of a read from Shazam. He probably had a dart out or something similar, because it didn't really even seem like he took that fight.
So, well, again, 100 Thieves were not able to convert that force buy that we saw back in round number 3. They did it successfully the second time, and now the third time as well is a charm. The problem is that if at any point 100 Thieves sacrifices a single round while not being in a good spot in regards to that economy, they're not going to have enough time to catch up, given the precipice they find themselves on. So a couple early picks here from Sentinels with weaponry in hand can be so crucial. Zoms finds Steel immediately. That's the very first kill on this round. Ten's flashed out of his position, and he sees one, but he can't do enough. He tries for the tag, is unsuccessful.
Ethan now pushed up in short, and he could definitely make a big play here, and he's going to need to for his team. But it's actually a rotate over towards C with the run it back. Asuna's going to get Dapper, who's trying to connect through Link. And with that pick, C control not fully established, but at least rendered a lot easier. Here come out those bird bangs, and is going to see the smokes and the paranoia as well from 100 Thieves on the entry.
And it's going to be a brawl inside of C site now. Enough time for Sentinels to get back. Sick doing damage with Asuna there as well. Both Phoenixes on these teams making their mark. Ethan falls 3v3. Plenty of time left to go. They'll try to protect Nitro as the spike goes down. Watching Link, watching Spawn, seeing which way they're going to come from. Tens, once this flame wall drops, will have a line of sight over towards the Omen, tags him. The Sentinels have the advantage now. Asuna sitting on top of that spike. Tens bursts up, ult in hand. He gets punished for it! And both Hiko and Asuna lock out Sentinels and give 100 Thieves their 5th round.
Oh boy. So a very different way to play that post plant for 100 Thieves, stacking up on the site and denying the initial entry through Garage and through Link. Just generally not letting their enemy get into the site to contest directly. And right there, when Ten's entries in, dashes up and is just swatted out of the sky, that really definitively ends the round for Sentinels. So now their lead is starting to crumble, and take a look at their economy as well. It's in shambles with just Sheriffs and Frenzies being brought here, trying to make something work with the sidearms. It's definitely possible for Sentinels, but now 100 Thieves are starting to catch their stride. It might be a little bit too late at this point, but there's definitely a good chance 100 Thieves can make something happen.
And we're looking at an 11-6, possibly even 11-7, depending on the way this one plays out. It's entirely within the realm of possibility that 100 Thieves are able to make this one come back. And they try for an early duel over towards B. No, goodness, no. Sick has an opportunity, but he flashes and he's caught red-handed. Asuna punishing him. 100 Thieves will now roll towards A. They were able to dislodge one of the players from Sentinels who was going to lurk and possibly go for a flank roll. Unfortunately for Asuna, he looks the wrong way, gets pummeled by the shotgun in the hands of Zoms. Steel trades him out. Shazam back and forth now as there's damage being done from both teams. Spike in Steel's hands, able to just crouch around the fire as, well, a 2v1 favoring 100 Thieves. Dapper yet again in a do or die position. He'll head through sewers to see if he can do any damage at all, but he's got a frenzy in hand against 2 rifles, and he's not going to be able to make it back. Based on the economy, we saw things go according to plan, and 100 Thieves takes another round, this being their 3rd in a row.
Definitely according to plan, but that was a really good eco for Sentinels. They almost brought 100 Thieves low, and even though they didn't manage to win that one, you could see that Steel and Ethan are a little bit low on funds right now, so that's going to be a consideration for them moving forward. They should be fine, really, but it's still good damage done. Now, first full buy here, that is in a position for Sentinels to actually push us onto match point, and it's an operator in the hands of Tens that could be the major difference maker as he attempts to challenge long A.
And I mean, not that I don't trust tens with an operator in hand, but that is a big gamble given the situation that you're in regards to economy. Now, this would be yet another loss in the row, and at that point, economy starts to help you catch up after so many losses. The question will be for Sentinels, they're losing gunfights. You can be on good footing eco-wise, but if you're having problems actually taking these duels and coming out ahead, well, it doesn't really matter what weaponry you have if you can't hit your shots. Six starts things off. Steel's caught in an awkward position right as the obscurement in front of his eyes goes away. And now Shazam will send out a drone to try and determine where 100 Thieves are. Austin is lurking. Zoms is aware of this, staring intently at his position. Just buying time. Shazam will swing up on him. Asuna gets as free of a kill as he's going to get, though it's immediately traded out. Still, these numbers will favor Sentinels.
Beautiful pick there through the wall, but it's a rotate from 100 Thieves. This might actually catch Sentinels off guard, but no, Tens is ready. An operator in hand, he'll miss his shot. Ethan will shut him down. That is about as bad as it could have gone for Sentinels. Now they'll be forced into a 3-on-3 retake, and with Ethan popping the ult there, it's going to be a little bit slower than they'd like.
They know there's one up in heaven. They know that there's one coming from spawn as well. So Nitro will be down below trying to stop them. Hiko will delay as much time as possible. Spike goes down for 100 Thieves. Yet again, this is the fourth round in a row that they've been able to get the objectives down. In fact, every attack that they have gotten the objective down on, they've won. This is where things could go from bad to worse, but Ethan's going to get sucked on into the gravity well. He's got the element of Nitro looking across. Dapper looks to the left. They're going to get punished. It's a double swing, and both guns from 100 Thieves have their targets aligned. Even if Ethan doesn't get any of them, he can rely on his teammates to do that. As I said a couple rounds ago, if things go according to plan, we're looking at an 11-7, and that's exactly where we are.
And that's it. That's the moment of truth right there. And what's worse for Sentinels is they actually used their Cosmic Divide on that round as well. That means they're going to have it for future rounds. I don't know if that was really the round to use it on, especially not considering the way that 100 Thieves are playing these post-plants. They're staying on site. They're not playing far back. They're remaining in control of those bottlenecks close up to the defender's side of the map. So, I don't know. Not necessarily the best read there from Sentinels on the re. And most importantly, obviously, that missed operator shot and lack of escape from Tens at long was really rough. They run it back for Asuna, working out great already, taking out Tens inside a garage, but obviously this should just be a round for 100 Thieves as they've got the economy well in their corner.
And Tens going down yet again. 100 Thieves scope out that C is clear, at least as far as they're aware, but intel is only good for a couple seconds because you can rotate. The call was made from 100 Thieves to maybe try and stick to C after losing that very first pick. So Sentinels now will need to find to go somewhere else, and they'll head over towards A. This A site has been a favored son so far for 100 Thieves. Sentinels trying to hold them off as best they can, but there's a giant wall of fire in between them, and 100 Thieves are capitalizing off of it. Asuna in particular, 4 kills for him. He'll heal up, and Ace is on the board. Yet again, the last man standing for Sentinels. No, he's Dapper. He'll walk up. Spike going down. He hears that. 4 members from 100 Thieves will be watching for him. Arrow just goes over his shoulder. Steel steals the ace. Doesn't matter, though. All 5 kills secured by 100 Thieves, and another round. This is their 5th round in a row on what is an exceedingly attacker-favored Haven.
Yeah, not really surprised, obviously, given that was, not a buy round for Sentinels. But at the same time, it could have gone a little bit better. Sentinels didn't fight the bait too hard there on the C and be aggression from the run it back. So 100 Thieves strategically, they forced out for A, but didn't really end up mattering too much. What we're seeing now, just some early aggression by A lane, and once again, Tens has the operator in hand. So he is determined not to make the same mistake he made last time and to make this hold work, but he's already got 2 people pushed up on short, and that's going to be difficult for him to challenge given that he's pushed up on long. He'll have to rely on Zoms to hold this.
Yeah. That round in particular, before we just get into the action, we're about seconds away. Asuna using his utility perfectly and then taking matters into his own hands. First, that run it back to take the kill onto Garage, and then on top of that, the Blaze Wall to cut the site in half, and then just this ring around the Rosie that happened in the middle of A site was so incredibly helpful. Whether it's a bait or not, Sentinels seem to think that it's going to be an all-in on A, at least with where the Phoenix is moving through B, and Sova's floating in that same spot, so at any point Shazam can get recalled over. Steal on A, though, might be the reason why we see Sentinels abandon ship, and that's exactly what it is. They've completely fallen off C. But that's exactly where everybody else is going to go. If Steel doesn't murder them on A site first, that is. He gets swung on by Sick, and Sentinels think they've got it in hat, don't they? But no, the problem is that control of C is for 100 Thieves, and they've just been baited by Steel in essentially what is going to be a 3v3 now, as Shazam tags down Asuna, gets the kill, Spike gets planted as well. Some brief intel onto Ethan, as Sick is going to be very, very quiet. He's hitting his shots so far, punishing as many as he can. Sentinels now on the retake are picture perfect so far. Nitro in a 1v2. Playing around this blaze wall is Sick. He gets taken down, but Nitro is down as well, and the Sentinels will move to map point.
Absolutely huge round there for Sentinels, and I'm amazed that they managed it too. Great play from Sick. He got back onto C a lot faster than 100 Thieves were expecting, and 100 Thieves, contrary to their typical holds on the site, they didn't have good firm control of defender spawn links, so they couldn't actually deny the push out when it came into sight from Sick. He was allowed to walk out as a result. Now, Sentinels did manage to win that, yes, but their economy is still not in a great place. So we're even going to see, we're still going to see a judge here for Dapper, and he's going to try and make something happen with that over by C. Definitely possible he can make some magic happen with the judge, though we've seen some crazy things with that weapon. So not the end of the world. Now, it's early aggression by A again for 100 Thieves, but they always do this to just want to get some information, maybe commit to it, maybe go for the rotate like they did last round. Whatever the case be, it's just their typical poke and prod of the A lanes.
Well, where are they going to go? Eco scouting out A, utility being spent over in that direction as well. Unless a call has been made otherwise, that's where 100 Thieves' focus is going to be, but they're stalling out, and it looks like they might be swapping over. Spike has been retrieved by Ethan, and he's heading towards B, with C possibly in his purview as well. Looking towards those doors. The judge, wonderful for Dapper. He catches Nitro. For some reason, at close enough quarter range, well, 100 Thieves then immediately pivot, and they'll try to take control of A. Starting off with Asuna. He's on run it back, trying to beat this timer as best as he can. Hunting for kills. Does he get intel on Shazam up in heaven? That's the real question. Side by side is Tens. He swats away the ult that's thrown out from Ethan, but through the wall, Asuna with yet another. The Phoenix players on both of these teams have been the absolute story so far. Sentinels know that they've got their work cut out for them. They could be able to put this map away, and they desperately want to. But they're needing to work together. Back at the site, that's where 100 Thieves are lined up. I don't know if they're going for... There you have it. It's going to be a pre-placed drone going on up, and some intel coming out. Sick and Asuna, 2 on the board, but Asuna is shut down. Sick will need to drop at some point. Problem is he's running out of time. He loses Shazam by his side, and I think Sick is aware that this one is pointless. Whether he'll go for the fight or not, it seems to be but a formality, as 100 Thieves should have no problem hanging on to this round. They'll just battle to the death as best as they can, and the Spike will end up claiming A site just before Steel can take out Sick from heaven, and another big round from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, so close to victory here for 100 Thieves, or rather, to a successful comeback here for 100 Thieves, but it's still one round away for a lockout on Sentinel's side, and they are now completely shattered in the economy, so that's some big buffer there for 100 Thieves. They not just won a single round there, they effectively won 2. So now that Sentinels are going to have to bring just 2 frenzies, and a sheriff, they're not in a great place. So Sentinels are struggling to win their defenses, just as 100 Thieves did. I mean, you can't really be that surprised on Haven, I suppose. The push out from A long, going to be met by Tens with the knives out, and he's going to make them work for 1, but not more, as Asuna, who just hasn't been missing his shots, is going to shut him down.
That looked like a bit of panic almost there from Tens. He was trying to get away, and if not get away, then at least drag somebody else down with him. The pick on to Steel is a good one. Cypher's utility is not going to be effective at the moment for this particular round. Still, 100 Thieves, they love this A site. This is where they have gone the lion's share of attacks, but they're being punished for it on this particular round, and they'll lose the even footing that they were on, as once again, it's Sick. Box said that he was the best player in North America. If Sentinels are able to pull ahead today, it will be because of his play. Not only his gunplay, but also the intel that he was just able to secure. And it's a call to action to the Astra over towards A long. Shazam now wondering if there's somebody down by sewers. Recon Dart immediately destroyed. That gives him the information that he needs. Even inside of the site, this blaze wall will protect him, but the paranoia will not. Austin nails one. Nitro as well. Shazam answers back. Ethan there. Shazam in his position. He's got Frenzy in hand in a 1v2, but he loses it in the 1v1 at the final moment, with Ethan making it so that 100 Thieves are still in this map.
Such an incredible eco round, though, from Sentinels. And even though they didn't win that one, darn, they came close. It's not going to matter, though, because 100 Thieves are so loaded at this point, given this streak that they've been on, the comeback. Now, it is at least enough for Sentinels to bring the operator and put that operator in the hands of Tens. But we've seen it before through this map. It really hasn't been a good weapon for Tens so far. He's got to make a difference, and he's got to make a difference now, or we're looking at a pretty impressive comeback for 100 Thieves. So this is a very important moment for Tens. I think this is the make it or break it moment for him, especially as we're seeing that A pressure already coming out.
And there's 2 ultis up as well for Sentinels. This will be crucial. Shazam can do some scouting work with that Hunter's Fury. And as well, there's a mulligan for Sick, as he's got the run it back at his disposal. 100 Thieves might be on the same footing in terms of weaponry, but their ultimates aren't what they need it to be. And those 2 ultimates from Sentinels, if used correctly, can be make or break in this round and ultimately end up sealing the deal of the map.
Look at the way that Tens is playing so passively on A. He's not going to try and challenge long, and that's going to allow Ethan and Asuna to get this early control that they could then turn into a site take.
There you go. The bird will give some intel. Tens gets away, taking some damage. They think they've got A clear, but 100 Thieves have been baited on in. Good news for them. They are not caught flat-footed at all. A retake potential now for Shazam as the Hunter's Fury comes out. Intel? No. Ethan will need to go for the plant as it's a drop from Sick using Run It Back to gain information on Hell. Does he get it? That's the real question. Dapper isolated. He's looking towards Hell. He sees Nitro, catches him, swings onto Ethan, and it's a 1v1, but 100 Thieves end up coming out in that duel with Steel and Hiko left alive. This one is just out of reach for Sentinels at the moment.
I really don't like harping on it here, Parker. It feels awkward, but again, Tens with the operator in a position at A and clear shots opening up for him. I feel really bad for saying it, but those are moments that really do define the round. The fact that Zoms is able to trade himself out, but Tens unfortunately wasn't. We all have those days, though. That's normal. Now Sentinels have to fight to avoid overtime, and they've just got barely 1 rifle, a Sheriff, and 3 Spectres. This is not ideal, obviously, for Sentinels. They can make it happen, though. Their economy rounds, confusingly, have actually been better than their rifle rounds. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow this is the lockout for Sentinels and we move on to map number 2. We'll see.
That's it. Round 20 was a reset, which Sentinels ended up winning. And then, of course, they won the first 2 pistols rounds. That's it, by the way. The defenders have only managed to take 3 rounds so far, but they're looking for a 4th on Sentinel's side. At least if Sick can do anything about it. The confidence on Asuna as he's going to spray away, but he gets dropped by Tens. This is huge. 3 big kills from Tens. And the last one is Hiko, a 4K. Tens puts map 1 away for the Sentinels.